Beginningless and endless is our being. Undivided and not multiple is our existence. Ever existent and with never an interruption is our consciousness. Unlimited and supremely peaceful is our innate bliss. Infinite and without a cause is Sri Ramana's grace. For this reason, the wisest of the wise, Sri Bhagavan, declares that there is no difference, no distinction between Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti, liberation in life and disembodied liberation. Why is this? It is because the entire being of one who is liberated is simply that, Brahman. He is not an embodied individual who knows about a disembodied existence. He is always bodiless and without the least trace of individuality. There is no distinction between the realizer and that which is realized. In a similar way, there is in reality no such distinction as those who know and those who are ignorant. How can there be no such distinction when clearly the definitions of the liberated and those who know and the bound who are ignorant are so apparently distinct? One is embodied, one is bodiless. One is identified as an ego, one is utterly egoless. One is caught in the turmoil of the mind, One is utterly transcendent of the mind. One sees himself as in the world. The other knows the world within himself. One appears bound. The other is most certainly free. One is unhappy. The other enjoys the innate happiness always. One is mixed up with the changeful. The other is changelessly abiding as the changeless. So how can there be no such distinction? If we inquire to know the nature of the bound one, we find only the liberated one. If we inquire keenly to see what the nature of the individual is, we find only the undivided Supreme Self, Brahman, which is certainly not multiple or of different kinds. If we examine for the root cause of suffering and bondage, which is the notion I, we find no such thing actually existing. Similar is it with all the other distinctions. A bound or embodied individual is not what you are. What are you? Beginningless and endless and ever liberated is our being.
Thank you, Master. When the topic of bodiless existence would come up in some of the recorded dialogues with the Maharshi, it seemed he would often point to the dreamless deep sleep state as not a goal, but an indication. And I was never sure that I absorbed all that I could from that instruction.
What do you understand from it?
Well, I recall that he would suggest that the listener realize that happiness was innate there and that no mind, thought, body, or world was required, and that existence was there. And since there was a sense of that happiness afterwards, so to speak, then consciousness was there.
If you understand all that, what more do you need to know?
Well, it just seemed to be a fairly unique characteristic of the Maharshi's instruction. I just didn't want to close it off that, I got it all there.
What is the nature of the one who would say, I got it all or I don't have it all?
He wasn't there in deep sleep.
Wasn't there in deep sleep. So he cannot be you. Because you existed in deep sleep. Whatever has newly appeared since deep sleep cannot be you. You are just the existence. Existence is consciousness. Existence consciousness is happiness. The self, which is the existence, consciousness, happiness, really does not enter into any state. It does not wake, it does not dream, it does not sleep. That which does not enter into any state is you. Just as you do not enter into a state such as waking or dreaming and such, similarly you do not enter into states of living and dying and such. That which is not born and which will never perish is you. For absolute certainty regarding this, all you need do is deeply inquire. And do not treat yourself as if you were an object.
I get that feeling of the bound individual. And actually you also said today that see the nature of that bound individual. In meditation, so sometimes there is a freedom when my identity goes a little deeper than this than this individual. But there is still I am not able to be in that fix my mind there, or I'm not. And I'm trying to question what am I putting my belief in, as if I will get freedom some other way.
In what other way would you get freedom?
Or it is like not questioning, not trying to achieve the freedom.
The one who does not question, what is his nature?
When I question that way, that freedom starts.
Yes. So you see, you must truly turn inward always. Not fixate on the object, but gaze into the subject. You say you put your belief in other things, temporarily. What is the source of the belief? Belief is pouring forth into various things. What is the source, the root? Is not the basis of all the belief in your own existence? If there were not existence, could there be the belief in existence? Then existence is most definite. Everything else is doubtful. Let your belief pour itself back into its source. Every time you have the idea that you are bound or limited in some way, find out who is bound, who is limited. The limited one and his limitations, being unreal, vanish. What remains is the pure, unlimited existence.
In one of the, actually I don't know, maybe in Maharishi's self-realization day, Maharishi, one reading you said that Maharishi says, take the world as unreal. And the feeling I got is that is actually the mind sometimes, many a time my mind is concerned about something or the other I'm thinking or something.
If there is the conviction that the world is unreal, the mind will not wander there. Even more so, the idea that there is a world to be experienced includes a definition of oneself as the experiencer or perceiver of it. So the Maharshi said that if we seek self-realization, there is no alternative but to accept the fact that the world is unreal. Otherwise, who sees it and his definitions remain unexamined? Unexamined definitions, that is misidentification, tend towards bondage and create illusion. So who sees the world? What is the nature of the seer?
There is also that there is also an aspect of like renunciation, no? That is, you are detached from because of this questioning.
Yes, but for detachment, the simple yet strong and profound knowledge of the source and nature of happiness suffices. Knowing that the world is unreal will make that detachment even stronger. But its real significance lies in what I just explained.
So do not think yourself as an object. So that is, the object is a perceiver, thinker. That is what you mean.
Any form. Any form, any kind of thing, be it a subtle thought or a sense-perceived object. We should not regard such as who we are. If you are not an object, subtle or gross, not a thing, not a thought, what are you? What remains? Again, detachment consists in not being confused regarding happiness. Supreme detachment consists in not being confused regarding your identity or reality. Thereby, you no longer associate yourself with any of the attributes of the illusion. Again, the world appears only in the waking state of mind. How can something that's dependent on the state of mind and is contained within it be real? The reality is self-existent, non-dependent, and is not contained within anything else.
When you said about existence, no, that feeling of, I felt kind of said, I had forgotten that feeling of existence.
Who forgot it? Did existence forget?
No, it was there and I was dreaming.
Who was dreaming? Did existence dream? Is there another one? Another self?
This is how I not lose awareness of that existence.
You see how the identity shifts, apparently, from the real self to the individual? The utter annihilation of the individual, the individualized perspective, is liberation. It is absence of I and my. That individual standpoint, that is not what you are. The cessation of that imagination yields lasting peace. The self does not have ignorance or forgetfulness or dream or illusion, etc. Who does? The ignorance and the ignorant one both vanish, for they are not real. The reality knows and is itself, always.
So there's a paradox I've been looking at, and that is the greatness of the Maharshi. I say paradox because I notice that, for example, like Sri Murangar, who was awakened, talks about how great the Maharshi is. The paradox I don't quite understand is, was the Maharshi's realization greater than Murangar's? Why? And yet I feel the same way. When I read the Maharshi, I'm like, this is the wisest being I've ever met. And yet, on another sense, realization and truth is one.
There are not different kinds of realization. Realization is only one. But one what?
Maharshi said that it's a delusion. Maybe this.
So who is the Maharshi?
Yeah, who's the Maharshi? That's the thing.
In one sense, we can say that upon realizing the truth, devotion finally truly begins.
Quite understand. The Maharshi said after realization that you're just completely fixated on the self effortlessly. So maybe that's the devotion you're referring to.
The self remains fascinated with itself.
Right, yeah.
There are not two involved.
And I don't need a resolution, to the question, but it does seem paradoxical that even people who are realized somehow say the Maharshi is so amazing, or it just seems, it seems like duality and non-duality kind of mixing together.
There is no duality in the experience of it.
In the experience of
such devotion.
Yeah.
Worship of the Sadguru does not presuppose duality. Indeed, is when duality is erased that such devotion truly shines. This can't be understood from an onlooker's perspective. It can only be understood from directly being immersed in it.
There may not be a mind resolution to my question, and yet I notice the more I look at different non-dual teachers or texts, my love and appreciation for the Maharshi just spontaneously grows. I couldn't necessarily logically argue that, he's better or whatnot. And my respect and gratitude the more it just sort of spontaneously grows.
Well, if you are experiencing such gratitude in the course of sadhana or practice, just consider what kind of gratitude there is upon realization.
Yeah, wow. That doesn't literally answer my question, but it answers my question.
अष्टावक्र उवाच भावाभावविकारश्च स्वभावादिति निश्चयी निर्विकारो गतक्लेशः सुखेनैवोपशम्यति.
Ashtavakra said, "He who has realized that change in the form of existence and destruction is in the nature of things, easily finds repose, being unperturbed and free from pain."
ईश्वरः सर्वनिर्माता नेहान्य इति निश्चयी अन्तर्गलितसर्वाशः शान्तक्वापि न सज्जते.
He who has known for certain that Ishvara is the creator of all and that there is none else here becomes peaceful with all his inner desires set at rest and is not attached to anything whatsoever.
आपदः सम्पदः काले दैवादेवेदि निश्चयी तृप्तः स्वस्थेन्द्रियो नित्यं न वाञ्छति न शोचति.
He who has known for certain that adversity and prosperity come in their own time through the effects of past actions is ever contented, has all his senses under control, and neither desires nor grieves.
Sukha dukkhe janma mrityu दैवादेवेदि निश्चयी साध्यादर्शी निरायासः कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते.
He who knows for certain that happiness and misery, birth and death are due to the effects of past actions, does not find anything to accomplish, and thus becomes free from care and is not attached even though engaged in action.
Chintaya jayate dukkham नान्यधेहेति निश्चयी तया हीनः सुखी शान्तः सर्वत्र गलितस्पृहः.
He who has realized that it is care and nothing else that breeds misery in this world becomes free from it and is happy, peaceful, and everywhere rid of desires.
Naham deho na me deho bodhohamiti nishchayi kaivalyamiva samprapto nasmaratya kritam kritam.
I am not the body, nor is the body mine. I am consciousness itself. He who has realized this for certain does not remember what he has done or not done, as if he has attained the state of absoluteness.
Abrahmastamba paryantam ahameveti nishchayi nirvikalpashuchi shantaha prapta vinivvrataha.
I am indeed in everything, from Brahma down to a clump of grass. He who knows this for certain becomes free from conflict of thought, pure and peaceful, and free from care for what is attained and not attained.
Nanashcharyamidam vishwam na kinchititi nishchayi nirvasana spurti matro na kinchitiva shamyati.
He who knows for certain that this manifold and wonderful universe is nothing becomes desireless and pure consciousness and finds peace as if nothing exists.
Janaka Uvacha Kaya Kritya Saha Purvam Tato Vagbistara Saha Adhachinta Sahastasmad Evamevahamastitaha.
Janaka said, I became intolerant first of physical action, then of extensive speech, and then of thought. Thus, therefore, do I firmly abide.
Pritya bhavena shabdadehe adrishyattvena chatmanaha vikshepe kagraha dritya evamevahamastitaha.
Having no attachment for sound and other sense objects, and the self not being an object of perception, my mind is freed from distraction and is one-pointed. Thus, therefore, do I firmly abide.
Samadhyasadi vikshiptau vyavahara samadhaye evam vilokya niyamam evamevahamastitaha.
An effort has to be made for concentration when there is distraction of mind owing to superimposition, etc. Seeing this to be the rule, thus do I firmly abide.
Heyo padeya virahad evam harsha vishadayoho abhavadyadahe brahman evamevahamastitaha.
Having nothing to accept and nothing to reject, and having neither joy nor sorrow, thus, sir, do I now firmly abide.
Ashramanashramam dhyanam chittasvikrita varjanam vikalpam mama vikshete evamevahamastitaha.
A stage of life or no stage of life, meditation, control of mental functions, finding that these cause distraction to me, thus verily do I firmly abide.
Karmanushthanamasjnanad yadhevo paramastadha buddhva samyagidam tattvam evamevahamastitaha.
Abstention from action is as much the outcome of ignorance as the performance of action. Knowing this truth fully well, thus do I firmly abide.
Achintyam chintyamanopi chintarupam bhajatyasau tyaktva tadbhavanam tasmad evamevahamathitaha.
Thinking on the unthinkable one only has recourse to a form of thought. Therefore, giving up that thought, thus do I firmly abide.
Evameva kritam yena sakritartho bhavedasau evameva svabhavo yaha sakritartho bhavedasau.
Blessed is the man who has accomplished this. Blessed is he who is such by nature.
பலவிதமாம் போக்கியமும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, பற்றியிடும் போகமுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை. அலைவு தரும் ராகமுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை, அமர்கின்ற சாந்தியுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை. நிலை மறுவா அவிவேகம் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, நீக்கவோனா பாசமுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை. சலனமிலா பரபிரம்ம நானே என்று சந்ததமும் துணிவுடையோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். பிரியமுடன் அப்பிரியம் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, பிரமோத மோதமுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை. இருமையெனும் ஆரோபம் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, இல்லையெனும் அபவாதம் எனக்கிங்கில்லை. நிர்மலமா லட்சியமும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, நிலை பெற்ற யோகமுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை. ஒரு வடிவாம் பரபிரம்ம நானே என்னும் உரமான துணை உடையோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். பிறந்திடுதல் இருந்திடுதல் வளர்தல் இல்லை, பெருத்திடுதல் இழத்திடுதல் மறித்தல் இல்லை. செறிந்த பல சருமாதி தாது இல்லை, சிறுமையுடன் யௌவனமும் ஜரையும் இல்லை. அறிந்திடுமோர் உபாதியுமே எனக்கிங்கில்லை, அத்வைத்தம் துவைத்த முதல் எவையும் இல்லை. நிறைந்த அறிவான பரநானே என்று நிலை பெற்ற நிற்பவனே ஜீவன் முக்தன். கருமையில்லை வெண்மையில்லை செம்மையில்லை, கண்ட பல உருவமில்லை நாமமில்லை, மருளுமில்லை தெருளுமில்லை வெளியும் இல்லை, மறைவுமில்லை இருளுமில்லை ஒளியும் இல்லை, விரதமில்லை இன்பமில்லை துன்பமில்லை, வேறான பொருளொன்றும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, புரணமதாம் பரபிரம்ம நானே என்று புரையறவே இருந்திடுவோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். ஏதமென தள்ளியிடும் பொருளும் இல்லை, இதமெனவே கூட்டியிடும் பொருளும் இல்லை, ஓதியிடும் குரு சீடர் முதலும் இல்லை, ஒளிர் ஞான ஞாதுரு ஞேயங்களில்லை, சேதனமும் சித்தலதான் ஜடமும் இல்லை, செரிகின்ற சுபமும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, பேதமிலா பரபிரம்ம நானே என்று பிரிவரவே இருந்திடுவோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். அற்புதமாய் ஒரு பொருளும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, ஆன்மாவும் அனான்மாவும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, கற்பிதமாம் ஸ்வர்க்கம் முதல் பலமும் இல்லை, களங்கமர பழகியிடும் கல்வி இல்லை, பற்பலவான் சங்கை சமாதானமில்லை, பயில் சாந்தி தாந்தி முதல் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, தற்பதமாம் பரபிரம்ம நானே என்று தளர்வரவே இருந்திடுவோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். பங்கமுறு விகற்பங்கள் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, பலவிதமாம் உலகங்கள் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, இங்கிகழ தகு பொருளும் எவையும் இல்லை, இயற்றியிட தகு பொருளும் எவையும் இல்லை, மங்களர வசனிக்கும் வாக்கும் இல்லை, மௌனமடைந்திடு நிலையும் எனக்கிங்கில்லை, துங்கமதாம் பரபிரம்ம நானே என்னும் துணிவுடனே இருந்திடுவோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். திரிகுணமும் சமமான பகுதி இல்லை, திகழ் சத்வ மேலான மாய இல்லை, இருகுணமும் மேலான அவித இல்லை, இருமேலான் தாமதமாம் பகுதி இல்லை, உரை செய்யும் ஓர் உபாதியுமே இல்லாமையாலே ஓதியிடும் பரஜீவ ஜகமே இல்லை, இருமையற உளது பரபிரம்மம் ஒன்றே, இதுவே நான் என உணர்வோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். சத்திய ஞானானந்த ஸ்வரூபமே நான், சத்திய ஞானானந்த ஸ்வரூபமே நான், நித்திய ஞானானந்த ஸ்வரூபமே நான், நித்திய ஞானானந்த ஸ்வரூபமே நான், சுத்த பரிபூரணமாம் ஸ்வரூபமே நான், சுத்த பரிபூரணமாம் ஸ்வரூப நான் என்று இத்திரமாய் திடமான நிச்சயத்தை இடையறவே இசைந்திடுவோன் ஜீவன் முக்தன். தன்னிடையே தானாக விளங்கா நின்ற தற்பதமாம் பரபிரம்ம நானே என்று பின்னமிலா அறிவுற்று பிரம்மாகாரம் பெற்றவனே பிணிப்பற்ற ஜீவன் முக்தன். அந்நியமே இல்லாத ஆன்மாவின் கண் அமர்ந்தாங்கே ரமிப்போனாய் அகண்டமான தன்னிடையே தானாக தனித்து நின்று தன்னின்பம் புசிப்பவனே ஜீவன் முக்தன். அகம் பிரம்மம் பிரம்மமகம் அகமெல்லாம் என்று அதிதிடமா நிச்சயமே அடைந்தவற்றால் தகும் பிரம்ம சொரூபத்தின் நிஷ்டை கூடி தங்கு மனோ விகற்பமெல்லாம் தவிர்ந்தோனாகி ஜகம்பரனா நீதனவே தோற்றும் தோற்றம் சகலமுமே மறந்து மகானந்தம் பெற்று மிகும் பிரம்ம ஞானத்தின் உரம் பெற்றோனே மிக மேலாய் விளம்பியிடும் ஜீவன் முக்தன். இன்னவிதம் பரமசிவன் எனக்கு முன்னம் இனிமையுடன் அருள் செய்த ஜீவன் முக்தன். துன்னுமிலக்ஷணமான திருடபோதத்தை துகளறவே நிதகனின கருளி செய்தேன். சொன்ன இவை வேதத்தும் சாஸ்திரத்தும் சூக்ஷுமமாம் அரிதாகும் குய்யமாகும். பண்ணுமிதை பரிவுடனே ஒரு காலேனும் பங்கமர கேட்டுணர்வோன் பரமேயாவன். ஈசனிலை எனும் வாதம் இயம்புவோராய் இருக்கும் முதல் வேதத்தின் கர்ம காண்டம் பேசிடும் கர்மத்தால் சந்தேகத்தை பேதமதி கொண்டு மிக கிளேசிப்பிட்டு சாசுவத ஸ்வர்க்கத்தை சார்வோமென்று சஞ்சலமா மதியுடையோர் ஒரு காலத்தும் மாசிலதாம் பிரம்ம சுகமருவாரென்றும் மகத்தான பவதுக்கம் தனையே சார்வர். பரமசிவாராதனையே செய்தவற்றால் பற்றுவதாம் அகண்டான்ம ஞானம் என்னும் ஸ்திரமருவும் நாவாயார் பரேசன் பக்தன் தீர்க்கமுறும் பவவாரி கடப்ப நன்றி. பரியினது கோடனவே வெறும் பொய்யேனும் பவவாரி இதை மற்றோர் கடவாரென்றே. அரியறிபு நிதகனுக்கு ஜீவன் முக்தன் அமைவுற்ற லட்சணமாம் கருள் செய்தானால்.
துன்னுமாயை அவித்யை கடாமிலை தொடருமீஷனும் ஜீவனும் தாமிலை பின்னமின்றி அகண்டமதாகிய பிரம்மமேயகம் என்று தெரிந்திடும். சின்னமில் திருடமாகிய போதமே ஜீவன் முக்தனுக்கான விலக்ஷணம். சின்னமில் திருடமாகிய போதமே ஜீவன் முக்தனுக்கான விலக்ஷணம். என்னலானந்த தாண்டவம் ஆடுனம் ஈசன் தன் பரிபூரண ரூபமே. என்னலானந்த தாண்டவம் ஆடுனம் ஈசன் தன் பரிபூரண ரூபமே. ஈசன் தன் பரிபூரண ரூபமே.